Soldier Boy tell you. Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called Soldier Boy. You just got a punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right. Soldier Boy, I've been here. Why me crank that Soldier Boy, the Superman that crank that Soldier,
Welcome to the Milo Experience.
Welcome one and all to episode 6 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Yes, episode 6. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thought it? Who could have ever imagined, or even not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would ever come this far. I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank my friends. I'd like to thank all of the strangers and people that I've never even met before, because I was drawing upon your energy like some kind of Dragon Ball Z character summoning an attack. All the little specks of light were coming from your soul, and the souls of the plants and the bacteria and even animals and things on other planets was all coming to me, fully charged. And that's how we got to episode 6 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. How y'all doing out there? Great, I hope. I'm sure you're doing so well. You're probably doing better than anyone else on earth right now. You're probably doing so great, so amazing, the things that you do. I bet you'd be just doing the most curious things, the things that just make people want to pull out their magnifying glass or like lift up their monocle and be like, what's this guy over here doing? And then they shuffle on over and they want to cut in on a bit of your action, get in on your little plan, and they want to scheme on doing things with you, and they want to cut a piece of your pie out for them to eat, slice a piece of your pie, you know, beef pie, meat pie, pizza pie, vegetable pie, chicken pie. Could be curry pie, steak and cheese, chili pie, Mrs. Max Pie. Shout out to Mrs. Max Pies. This episode was brought to you by Mrs. Max Pies. If it ain't Mrs. Max, then you gotta take that bitch back. You know what I'm saying? Because Mrs. Mac don't play around, motherfucker. Anyway, like I said, episode 6. I'm so glad to be here. I couldn't believe that I was gonna be here again for like 6 weeks in a row. I'm sitting here in front of a microphone and I'm telling you about things that you need to know, things that will benefit your lifestyle, things that will improve you, elevate you, lift you up, bring you down if you want that too. Like we're not ignoring any part of the human emotional spectrum. You know what I mean? We're just we're taking a slice of each sector. Like if the emotional spectrum was a pie, I'd be cutting slices left and right. You know what I mean? I don't even care about what flavor it is. I don't even care about what emotion it is. Sometimes I'm depressed. Sometimes I want to make others happy. Sometimes I want to bring them all down because I'm feeling miserable myself. You know what I mean? And sometimes I just want to disappear and just leave the world behind. Other times I want to go out into society, like handing out flowers and like those Hawaiian leis, and I want to hand out like coconuts and free drinks. And sometimes I want to hand out coupons, scratch tickets, anything, right? Free samples, CDs. I might go to the corner and hand out my mixtape. I might slice up some cakes or some pies and hand them out in the street. You know what I mean? Because that's just what I do. I want to elevate the community, but sometimes I want to bring it down. Like I don't care. Like I'm not trying to be a hero, man. I'm also not trying to be a villain. I'm just trying to. I'm sort of like an agent of controlled chaos, or like chaotic balance. You know what I mean? Like I might help an old lady walk across the street, and then when it's really crowded, or I might gun down an old lady for her pearl necklace. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's all relative. Life is like karma, man. It goes around, it comes around, and you get it, you don't get it. Some days you get it more than others. Some days you get it less than other days. You know what I mean? But we're getting it all today on the 6th episode. You know what I mean? It's a big one. It's a doozy. We've got some special things to do and think and feel. It's all about the emotions this time around. We're just feeling all of the emotions of the human spectrum. Like, you know, what's your favorite emotion? I want you to think about that for a minute. Just take a moment and think about your favorite emotion. Do you like to feel sad? Do you like to feel blue? You know, you like to stay in your room and sit on the stool in the corner, or curl up in your bed, and you like to cry or feel sorry for yourself. And there's plenty of good reasons to do that. I'm not cutting out any side or sector. I'm not cutting out no percent. I'm not removing any of the dynamics from the emotional spectrum today. Like, we're just, so if you want to be depressed and feel sad for yourself, that's fine. Or if you want to, you got high self-esteem today, you think you look great. You woke up and you bounced out of bed and you jumped out the shower, and then you looked in the mirror and you're like, holy shit, who's that? That's me. And then you ran outside and you like beat down a homeless guy just for the fun of it because you're feeling sadistic and sexy. You know what I mean? Sadistic and sexy is a good way to be. It's a dangerous combo. Maybe, I don't mind. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't mind. Like, it takes all kinds. It takes all walks of life. It takes all life forms, different species, different types of people, personalities, different animals, and like different foods and modes of transport. Just different everything. Like, this life is always changing, man. You know what I mean? It's just constant change. There's nothing that's permanent in this life. Everything is temporary, even life itself. Maybe one day life will cease to exist at all. Like, because as far as we're concerned, it only exists here on Earth. That's what the science tells us. Am I right, ladies? Like, it's only the only place on the universe that we exist in which has life is the blue-green planet Earth. The little blue, white, green planet. It's not very green anymore. It's probably red, blue. I mean, it's probably just dusty. Soon it's going to be dusty. Like, if you look at Australia from a far away place, from a long way away, it probably just looks like a rock or something. But yeah, it takes all types, It takes all types. Different strokes for different folks. Some people be stroking, some people be striking. Some people will be going around the block, twisting it inside out, upside down, back to front, left, right, mirror image, reversals, Counterproductivity is not something that I'm into unless I feel that way. And I might feel like that today. I might feel like being extremely counterproductive. I might throw my keys over the next door neighbor's fence when I get home from work, Or I might, what's something else that's I might just drive my car around all week without fueling it up, and then run out of gas. Or I might drive my car into a hardware store and run over a nail, like go into the nail aisle and drive down there and fill my car tires up with nails. That'd be counterproductive, wouldn't it? And then try driving around. Wouldn't get very far. I would, actually, it probably could. Have you seen like those videos of people that are driving around with no wheels? I saw one that, doesn't that sound funny? But I saw one of this lady, and she must have been like on the biggest dose of some kind of drugs and wine. And she was like white wine wasted on Xanax or some shit, right? And she was driving down the street with no tires. And so the person on the other side of the camera was like, yo, you're driving around with no tires? And she's like, yo, everything's cool. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to go around the corner now. Cool story, right? Well, couldn't be me, because I do not get white girl wine wasted. I have before, and as a matter of fact, back in high school, they used to call me the white wine smasher, because I'd go out to the bar, and instead of drinking beer like a fool, trying to waste my money on this orange water with low alcohol content, I would be sipping the Chardonnay. Getting lit, you know what I mean? So I guess what I just said about not getting lit off of wine is a total lie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we feel like lying. Sometimes we feel like being deceptive. Is that an emotion, or if it's something that you feel like doing? I feel like being deceptive. What kind of emotion is that tied to? Deceit? Is that a sin? A deadly? That's not an emotion, is it? I don't know. When you feel deceived, that's a feeling. It's an emotion, right? I don't know. What's the emotion word for deceit? If you're feeling like you want to be deceitful, or that you've been deceived, how's that? Are you feeling? I don't know. I'm trying to. For some reason, my brain can't escape the 7 deadly sins. I just keep saying, is it jealousy? Is it greed? Is it gluttony? You know what I mean? Maybe just like a mad deceitful guy, like you just can't get enough, and like you try to swindle everyone, even if like they're out of your league and you're not doing very good, like you're not on your A game. Maybe you're feeling a bit greedy about it, like you're trying to swindle too many people and you're being deceitful. You love being deceitful so much that you're greedy about it. Or maybe like could be the same situation, but you're trying to rip off your local bakery for all their pies and cakes, and that would be greedy. I mean, that would be gluttonous too, right? And there's envy. Maybe you're trying to deceive someone because you're envious of them, or they're envious of you, and you don't want them to find out your hidden power level, so you deceive them and make them think that you are less than what you are. Right? But I don't know if that's an emotion. It's something that you can feel. I mean, is anything that you can feel an emotion? Can it riddle me this? If you feel something, is it an emotion? Like, personally, I mean, there's a lot of emotions out there, right? There's more obscure ones and there's like the more common ones. There's more like happy-go-lucky emotions. But I feel like that, like anger is not highly valued in society. But like everything that I do, I operate out of anger. You know what I mean? Like I wake up and I'm so angry that I have to like get out of bed, or I'm so angry. Just that fucking shit is happening in the world, and like, you know, my life is not going the right way or something. Like I'm angry at myself, and I'm angry at everyone. So I just get out. I might punch a hole in the drywall, before I hit the shower, and then I come to work, and then I'm like just yelling at people and giving them orders and demands and commands and instructions, right? Feeling very angry. I'm just operating from this space of anger, just going, you running people down into the ground and like trying to make them work hard for the man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to turn over that profit, elevate my business, and, you know, get these products installed, man. Blinds, screen doors, curtains, Venetians, shutters, awnings. You know what I mean? Trying to get these bitches installed, but you can't do it in the rain. Sometimes it's too wet. Sometimes it's too sunny. Sometimes you go into a house and it's filled with piss, right? And you can't breathe, and there's cats running around. They're chewing on the baby's diapers and stuff like that because they got no food. And then you see the baby in the corner chewing on the cat shit in the kitty litter, and it's like a vicious cycle. The cats are eating the diapers. The baby's eating the cat shit, you know? And then where's the mum? Probably outside on fucking meth, or, you know, doing whatever, man, driving around drunk or some shit, you know, going on some kind of stripper pole in a club somewhere, putting dollar coins in a G-string or some shit, in a coin slot, you feel me? Wonder what happens if you do that, put in a dollar coin in the back of a hooker, or I mean, like, not a hooker, a stripper, right? And then see if that winds them up. Maybe they get more energetic, they start bouncing around, or like they do a little dance, or maybe they do a melody. Maybe they sing a melody, like a song starts playing, like do 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 do. You know, while they're on the stripper pole. That's what happens if you put a coin in their bum, right? In the coin slot. But yeah, so emotions are a really good thing to have. So like my spirit animal. If you've got a spirit animal, let me know what it is in the comments. I want everyone to put their spirit animal in the comments. If you have one, that's where I want you to put it. My spirit animal is a chihuahua, but not just any chihuahua. Ren Hoek, you know what I mean? Because he just, I really like that he operates from this space of like total anger. And like when he's doing something, like when something is going wrong, and then he just like fucking explodes on a 180 degree turn on a pinhead. You know what I mean? Like he's just like bang, snap. It's just anger, Stimpy, or whatever. Like, you know, there's one particular scene that I just can't get enough of. It's like Ren Hoek's in the White House, and he's the president of the world, and someone is like, anyway, but the point is, like, he's talking to the guy on the other side of the phone. He's like, do you know who you're dealing with? And he presses the atomic bomb button and half the world explodes. Like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm into. So yeah, Ren Hoek is my spirit animal. I'd like that. I don't think he's a mean guy. I think he's a bit sadistic though, you know, but I don't think he's got a bad heart. He's a good guy. Would you take Ren in would you rescue him from a adoption shelter for sickly animals or something? Would depend on his level of sickness. What if he was a cancer-ridden dog? That wouldn't be too bad. You could probably take it home and like put it in a shoebox and like drip feed it water or whatever until it expires. But what if it had rabies? What if it was a rabies dog and you brought it home and it bit you, and then you couldn't drip feed it anything because you'd be afraid of water and dripping, and like, so if you ever like, you couldn't probably have a shower again, and you can't drink any water because you've got rabies now, and you're going crazy, and you've got hydrophobia. Yeah, that's what happens to people with rabies. So don't get it unless you want to be crazy. Maybe rabies would be worthwhile having if like you wanted to work in the desert, because then you could be like as far away as possible from any source of water. There'd be no rainfall. So yeah, it'd be a good place for you to be out in the desert. Maybe you could be a hunter shooting the gnu's or the what else? A cactus in the desert. Probably like skelly bones, some kind of bleached bones with horns in the soil somewhere. But no water because it's a desert. But deserts aren't the only dry place. Like there's plenty of dry places on Earth, right? Like the inside of an oven is usually pretty dry. Like gets pretty warm. Or like my wife's pussy, am I right? Or yeah, there's lots of dry things, man. I'm not going to rattle off a giant list of dry things. I think we both understand what dry is. It's the opposite of wet. Like there's some wet things in life. There's some dry things in life. It's like sweet versus savory. You can't have a wet dry item or a dry wet item unless it's a beer. You can get like a super dry, and that's usually pretty wet. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to being wet or dry, I think I would prefer to be dry. I like the dry climate. I don't like being wet. It's in Sydney right now. We're going through the crazy wetness, and so every day it's just rain, thunder, and storm, and then the sun comes out and it gets too hot to wear a shirt because like you just walk around and suddenly you're dripping. So imagine if you had rabies and then you had like you were so sweaty, man. Like wouldn't that fuck you up? Wouldn't you be like, oh god, I'm deathly afraid of water, but I can't stop creating it on my skin, you know? That'd be a catch-22, like, oh god. The only way for me to cool down is to perspire. But then if I perspire, then I'm gonna get like the deliria tremens type fucking paranoia shakes because I'm so afraid of the water that I'm generating to cool myself down, and that just makes you more stressed out, so you probably sweat even more. Fuck, what a awful predicament. As if having rabies wasn't enough, but now you're sweating in Sydney too. Fuck. That's tough shit, man, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. It's tough to be out there on rabies, man. Rabies drugs. And you can't take a anti-rabies shot if it's too late. You can only take it if it's early. But it's crazy, man. I want to see what happens if you got like a whole city and infect it with rabies. Do you think that someone would come out on top? Or do you think that would be someone that like developed some kind of immunity? What if you infected a pregnant mother with rabies? Or you made her have intercourse with like a rabid animal and she gave birth to like some kind of rabies proof. What if the womb like disinfected the rabies virus and now you've just got like this crazy like post-rabies animal baby and you know it's invulnerable to rabies, like it can't be infected anymore, so you could send it into the Congo to search for diamonds and stuff or whatever, like, and it won't matter if it gets bitten by a monkey. Diamonds are not even it wouldn't be worthwhile. Diamonds are not even valuable anymore, right? Like they make diamonds out of nothing, like they make it out of compressed sand as like fuck or whatever. Like I don't know how you make a diamond. You gotta squash a rock for a long time, but like yeah, they make fake diamonds now. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, so now you can just make an infinite amount of best friends for your girl, you know. But I was listening to the radio the other day, and someone was like, but who would even care? That was what they were saying. They were saying this. Who would even care if you got a, air quotes, fake diamond or a real diamond? Like, who would care about that? And then the other girl was like, well, I would care about that. I know someone who cares about that. I care, right? People care about the craziest things. I mean, I would care about it personally if someone was trying to buy me a fake ass diamond. I don't want no lab grown diamond. I don't want a lab grown meat, right? I'm not going to eat no vegan meat or lab grown meat. I'm not going to wear a lab grown diamond or whatever, synthetic diamond. What's the difference? I mean, like particularly a diamond is a certain, a crystal is like a certain arrangement of atoms that get stacked up in some kind of a lattice-like structure that is self-supporting or some shit, I guess, right? And then so physically there's probably, I think I've read before that there's no difference. You probably can't even tell. I don't even know if like a diamond luthier, what do they call him, a jeweler? Like, I don't know if a diamond mechanic can even tell the difference. I mean, how would you tell it? You got to shoot a laser beam through the diamond and see if it reflects or refracts funny way or some shit, you know what I mean? But if they can make just diamonds out of anything, then just free diamonds, like I guess they're made out of dirt, right? I mean, like, isn't that how you make Diamonds, you squash a rock. I know. I can't imagine how else you would make a diamond. Like, you just got to get a rock, bury it underground, leave it there for 1 million years, and then dig it up. So if you are making diamonds out of rocks, then what's the value of a diamond really? I think that's why it's worthwhile. Like, you know, that's the point right there, right? That's why fake diamonds are not as good as real diamonds. Because someone, like, if I want someone to go to the Congo and get killed by a rabid monkey while they're digging out my diamond, you know, like, that's, if they don't do that, then what's the value? There's nothing. No one lost their life, no blood, no sweat, no tears. I'm all about the blood, the sweat, and diamonds, and blah, 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 blah. It's a bit of Diamond Head. Bit of the old groove metal, man, you know what I'm saying? Bit of the old Diamond, Dallas Page. I watched the UFC fight on the weekend. It was Volcano Man versus, I don't even know the other dude's name, right? But like the Aussie guy who's got a Russian name, or maybe it's a Ukrainian name. I don't even know what the difference is between Russia and Ukraine, except one is getting invaded by the other. But like, what's the point? They fucking, aren't they the same people? They talk the same shit, and don't they live in the same place? Like, they're right next door neighbors. It's like going to your neighbor's house. If you're a black guy and your neighbor's a black, well, maybe that's a bad comparison, because black people, there's a lot of black on black violence, right? So it's like, imagine being an Asian guy, right? And going, or a Native American, like, who's the most, it's like being a transsexual person, and then, is that the right word? Transsexual? Yeah, it's like being a trans person, and then going to your next door neighbor's house who is also a trans guy who's married to a trans ally, and trying to invade them. Like, they're your people, you know, what's the point? What's the point in invading your next door neighbor? They're the same type. The trans people should be invading the black guy next door or something, right? Or the Asian man next door. Maybe the Asians are trying to rob your TV, or maybe the Asian man took your bike, right? Maybe he did it, or maybe he ate your pet, which it might not be a cat or a dog. I didn't say that, right? Could have been a spider, because they do that too. I've seen videos of like people in Thailand, or I don't know, Laos, is that a place? Or Cambodia. Maybe they eat spiders there. They probably eat all kinds of bugs, like hissing cockroach. That'd be a cool one to eat. You could bite its head off while it's hissing, and maybe it went down your tummy and you could hear it going shh in the tummy, right? You can say, well, you got gas? No, man, I ate a hissing cockroach. But yeah, I watched the fight, and one guy punched the other dude so hard that he got like knocked the fuck out, man. It was good stuff. Don't mind watching the fight. Hey, I don't care about the result. I don't care about who is the one who, like, what the matchup is, the history. Don't care. All I want to see is blood, sweat, and tears. I'm all about the blood, the sweat, the tears inside the UFC, the ring, the cage, and all the special moves. The Brazilian, the BJJ. Damn, if I had just done that on time, it would have been perfect, right? The BJJ. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Bros, Taekwondo, Karate, Muay Thai, like boxing, all these methods of combat, all mixed up into a blender, and then they put them in the ring to see which comes out on top, huh? You know what I mean? And there's wrestling as well, grappling, submissions. There's no power bombs, there's no tombstones, there's no suplex type stuff. There's no jumping from the ropes or throwing your opponent out of the ring or going outside and getting a chair. So really, what's the better sport? What do you want to see? Some dudes in the ring, I'm going to punch you. No, I'm going to punch you. And then they get the punching. Or you want to see someone like flying from the turnbuckle with a chair and landing on a desk and crashing through the audience and doing a crazy ass like signature move in a cool costume? Or you want to see like two bald guys go, and punch each other, right? Until one breaks their teeth out. I mean, I don't mind either way, but I just wish that there was more of a theatrical element to the UFC. Like maybe they could come out in clown costumes, clown suits, or they come out in like the sumo wrestler padded suits. I'd like to see them fight in that, trying to submit each other, like get a handle on each other's appendages while they're trying to twist and turn in a sumo suit. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. And then like even if they lubed it, they wouldn't have to do this, but if you lubed up the ring, so when they're slipping and sliding around in their fat suits, it was really crazy. They could never stand up. Or what if they were wearing like Burger King costumes or anything? Like, they don't even have to be wearing costumes. Maybe they'd come out with a signature, not a signature move, but a signature prop or like weapons. I would come out with a guitar, and another guy would come out with like a drumstick or like a car tire. Or if you're a zookeeper, you'd come out with like a little animal partner or something, and you could do like tag team moves if you got enough meter or whatever, man. You know, unlock different characters. There should be like, there's not enough hidden characters in the UFC. There's not enough animal companions or like familiars. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of stuff that I hope to see. I mean, I'm working towards it. I'm writing to my constituents. I'm demanding things from my public office. I'm going to the head of state, and I've gone to, you know, I've heard it on high, right, that there's some changes that are going to be made. But it's just a matter of when, right? And if we can keep on leveraging the influence that we've already managed to develop, then maybe we can make a change, like a positive change in this bloody, violent, aggressive, testosterone-filled industry of combat sports. You know what I mean? But I was sitting there watching it on the TV in the pub with my friend, and we were drinking beers. And that's and we're eating some food, got some fries, burger, ate a lot of food. You know, the pub grub goes pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? Got a belly full of beer, belly full of burgers, and then you roll out the door into an Uber, and then you go home. And crash. And you know, I experienced many emotions that day. I was excited. I was mostly excited. I was also calm at some stages, and I was happy. I was stoic as well. Yeah, sometimes everyone around me was like going, he punched the guy, and I was just sitting there like, yeah, whatever, man. I see it, I hear it, and I observed it. Just like that. Just, you know, I take it in. I don't react. Don't need to react. You don't need to react to every situation in life, especially like least of all some guy on a TV getting knocked the fuck out, right? But people will react to anything. They'll react to the ball going in the hole, right? The ball went in the hole. Yeah, the ball went in the hole. Or like, you know, what else? That's pretty much what all sports are about, putting the ball in the hole. Is there even any other sports? I suppose there's like running, track and field events, like most Olympic events. There's like running. There's a long jump, high jump. There's like the pole vaulting, and there's hammer toss. You know, that involves a ball, but it doesn't involve a hole. And there's discus. I think that's pretty fun. It's like super frisbee or javelin. I remember playing those things when I was in like primary school. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I might become an Olympian. Maybe there's a mini Olympics here in Sydney that I can go and just try out, chill out with some other wannabe Olympians, and we can elevate each other. Maybe we all come up together. That'd be a pretty cool come up story, right? I was, you know, the young man started out playing Olympics in his primary school until he moved to the big city to become a musician. But when everything turned south, he picked up that javelin, and suddenly he found a new purpose. You know what I mean? Or he rediscovered his old purpose, whatever it might be. But I think that we're gonna cut to a song because a regular listener, really regular listener who listens all the time, they called in and they told me that they wanted me to play this particular song live on my show program. So I'm gonna play that song right now.
I don't care if you're into drugs. I don't care if you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, whoa. Thought I might die, somehow I survived. You slow down time whenever you're nearby, but that's alright, you changed my mind. Thought I might die, somehow I survived. You slow down time whenever you're nearby, but that's alright, you saved my life. All we got is one planet, all we got is one life, and I can't stand it. Show me how to stand up, carry my weight through space as it is expanding. Too many souls are damaged, my flesh won't heal with a band-aid. My heart needs more than a bandage, can't take flight, lost my sight, don't ask why. Thought I might die, somehow I survived. You slowed down time whenever you're nearby, but that's alright, you changed my mind and saved my life. Thought I might die, somehow I survived. You slowed down time whenever you're no text back from salvation. Looking hard and deep into the stars we shoot, but it's just way too far. Man on Mars, we can travel for centuries. Medically, we all expire eventually. Extraterrestrial existence makes little difference. There's too much distance between the systems. Cold to the feeling, I'm dreaming cause no one can see me. I'm tired of kneeling, speeding toward the fork between life and death, and I don't know which way that I'm leaning. All around the world, people screaming, pain of survival, our lifetime is fleeting. Defeated, deflated, my pulse ain't detected, my heart isn't beating. The light in the tunnel's receding. Believe me, I'm waiting, come see me. You changed my mind and saved my life. You changed my mind and saved my life.
I don't care if you're into drugs. I don't care if you're an alcoholic. I don't care. All I care about when I judge men is one thing. Do you want to know?
Welcome to the Milo Experience.
Okay, thank you very much for that. It is time for everybody's favorite regular segment, the Brodie Report. Yes, the Brodie Report. Time to hear about the king. What has he been up to? Where has he been? And what has he done? What does he feel? I have it on I have a good tip. I have it on good, what's the word? Confidence. I have it on good confidence. I have it on good, I have a good word. Someone good told me something good, right? Someone good told me something good. And that was, I have it on good authority. Yeah, that's the one. I have it on good authority that Brodie, he operates from a place of weakness. You know, that's how he feels most of the time. There's no reason for it though. Like Brodie, everyone knows that Brodie's a big man, but they see him moping around, just moaning and moping and dragging his feet like a fucking sad sack. You know what I mean? Downtown, dragging one foot behind the other. Oh, woe is me! I got no hair and I'm not muscly anymore. I'm overweight and I can't sleep. And I've got an IQ of a banana, but I can't. You know, no one understands me. But everyone understands you, Brodie. I think everyone around Brodie just wants him to understand that we understand you, man. Like we tolerate you and we put up with you and we know what you're like, man. So it's like pick that chin up, man. Pick the chin up, bro. You know what I mean? There's no need to be all mopey and dopey, even if you can't help it. I think like Brodie's depression it's a big thing right now because it's stopping him from like rocking up to his favorite events. Like, you know, he's not going to work anymore. He's always late to work. Can barely get him to band practice. You ask him to get there on time, he shows up hours late if he even shows up at all. I mean, this guy truly doesn't know the meaning of punctual. You know what I mean? And that to me just like it just speaks volumes. It speaks volumes, man. Like crank the amp up to 11. That's Brodie speaking right now, subliminally to my mind. Like it's one heart to another. I can feel that Brodie just needs to find a new sense of purpose, a new direction in life. You know what I mean? But I think everyone has faith. I have faith in him. Everyone has faith in him. We all know that he's going to come out of the other side of this bigger and better, but mostly bigger, right? It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other. And, you know, when you fall off the bike, you got to get back on the bike. You know what I mean? Even if you nearly break your leg or die and people laugh at you. You just got to get back on that bike and ride, baby. But that's enough of Brodie. I think it's time for the weather. Okay, so your forecast for the remainder of the day is it's very wet. It's going to be raining all day and all night. It's going to be raining. We're going to get at least 20 meters of rain. And then tomorrow, the temperature is going to be like 10. And then tomorrow, it's going to be raining and the temperature will be 20, and then it's going to be raining again on the next day after that, and the temperature will be 30. And then the day after it'll be 40 and rain, and after that it'll be 50 and it will be raining. And then Saturday it's gonna rain and it'll be 60, and then on the Sunday it's a new day for rain, and it's gonna be 100 degrees, burning hot, everything gonna be on fire. Don't leave your house, just stay in the bathtub, fill it with water and die there too, right? Very wet. Humidity is going to be 100% for the remainder of the year. 100, all right? So I hope you fucking got some gills and that you like walking around in the gym showers when there's a lot of steamy boys in there, because that's what it's going to be like everywhere. And we're just going to get an update on the traffic now. Traffic report. Let's go over to the our eye in the sky, the Milo Podcast chopper. What have you got for me, Milo?
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to say that from where I am in my helicopter, I can see a lot of traffic. There's too much traffic, so if you wanted to go down King George's Road, there's too much traffic to go that way. You got to go the other way and go down Queen Fredericks Road instead. And if you want, you should take a detour around the bus street, because there's a broken down truck. And there's a lot of kangaroos. There's like a field of kangaroos that are bouncing across the MCG right now. And there's 100 burglars, and they're descending on the Federal Reserve Bank, and they're going to take all the money. And then there's also a bunch of thugs on the corner of Oxide and Argent Street, and they're beating up all the people that come by, taking the elderly's money away from them. So you better watch out for that. Steer clear of the intersection of Oxide and Argent Street. And make sure that you don't go down Silver Street, because if you do go down there, you're going to fall in a big hole. There's a big hole there, and there's 100 cars inside. And I can see on the road right now like 10 trucks, and there's 10 buses, and I can see 10 cars, and I see 50 sedans, and they're all driving around like crazy. So if you want to get to your place that you want to go, you better leave now, because traffic is heavy. And there's no light traffic. It's all very heavy, dense traffic right now. So if you want to go and get there on time, you got to go right now. Over.
Thank you for that. That was the Milo Podcast Eye from the Sky chopper with the traffic report. But I think that just about wraps it up for episode 6 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. I'd just like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. The episode podcast was brought to you by the drink Prime. The Prime drink, the Logan Paul, Jake Paul drink. And you got to drink it if you want to be the best boxer, if you want to be a better lover, if you want a greater performance, then you need to drink Prime. If you get in the gym and you're feeling weak and you don't know just how to speak, then I'll give you a hint. Here's what to do. Just go and get a drink and put it into you. Prime from Jake Paul. It gives you knockout power plus 10. It's got a red, white and blue stripe, so you know that it is fully French. All right? Wash it down with a baguette. And today's episode was also brought to you by Levi Jeans. If you got a loose caboose and you want to tighten up that booty, don't go to the gym. Throw on some denim. You know what I'm saying? Tighter the better. Skinny jeans. You know, it doesn't even have to be skinny jeans. You can be a fat ass bitch and have those button-up jeans that come up to your belly button that were really popular in like the 2010s, I guess. I never liked those, but you probably do. So put in the code at the coupon code checkout place on the website. 1277 Milo Levi 69, and you'll get 5% off your first order of denim. Alright, thank you very much for listening to episode 6 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.